Good afternoon. It's always an exciting day when my trios are ready. It really is. So I'm excited today to talk to you about my favourite pendant in the world, which is three separate, beautiful, amazing crystals that over the years I realised that I was working with them almost organically together, and it just suddenly one day sprung to me that these three crystals are incredible when they're around my neck, especially when I was doing healing work. The healing work that I used to do was a form of healing work which was combinations of different types of healing practices that some things worked and some things didn't. The things that worked for me, I held on to and incorporated it into a unique method, which is now called pure energy healing. Pure being the main word, meaning that there is no right or wrong, just what works. So as long as you work from love, light, you've heard the expression, and I believe the light is pure. If you work from good intention, if you eat healthy and look after yourself and don't carry fear or anger or especially hate in your body, then you can work on that very energy of pureness. And that's how I used to work. Incorporated into this work is a unique understanding of the physical and emotional and spiritual body. And in that moment of healing, you get to, you receive a download. And that's ultimately what it is, a download of understanding your client. And thus, my work to begin with was what would be deemed as psychic work. Whereas actual fact, psychic work is the same as healing work. It's an attunement or an understanding of your client or the person next to you. And that understanding is deep. It isn't one where you open your eyes and you cold read. It's one where you close your eyes. So if anybody ever came to me for a reading, they would normally see my eyes were closed. And the reason why is I didn't want to tarnish. I didn't want to add to any kind of belief that I was on the right track. So I closed my eyes and read and then opened my eyes. And that was a really beautiful thing, because closing my eyes was like you taking a canvas and starting to paint a picture. If your eyes are open and you're looking at your client as a psychic, you're watching and you see them doing this or smiling or looking confused, which then would absolutely ruin the reading, because sometimes people can look confused as you're reading for them. And then afterwards, oh my God, now I understand. So I always cleared that away, and the best way is to close your eyes. So you start to attune to a higher vibration, and in that moment, you realize trust comes into it. And while I was doing it, it was always funny, because it dawned on me that the crystals that I worked with, the ones that really, really worked well for certain attunement, certain higher understanding, deeper, or if you believe in past life, if you believe in these things that a lot of people don't believe in, if you believe in that, you say, wow, this is really amazing. How did I know that? And the reason why is because you align with the energy around you and whatever is inside you. If you work with certain crystals, they help blast a wave that comes into you and awakens certain parts of our intuition. And at the same time, there's crystals that when you're doing the healing work, there's a lot of emotion, and sometimes that's a heavy emotion, whether it's grief or whether it's sadness, anger, and that emotion, that energy needs to be dispersed. So I found a certain crystal was absorbing that energy while I was working. There was one particular crystal that blew me away, and that crystal helped me attune to higher vibration, higher or a deeper understanding. And sometimes I could feel the energy of awareness, so I could read people's futures, both past, present and future. I could see the past, I could feel the present, and I could see the future. And how did I know that? Well, people used to come back to me thereafter, 6 months, a year, 10 years, and say, you have no idea that what you said all came true. And that was predominantly every week. And even till this day, even though I've stopped readings, I still get messages, people, and this isn't an exaggeration, begging for a reading again. And I always say, try different readers. No, nobody else can read. Oh, okay, but I don't do readings, I'm sorry. So what I'm saying is, and this isn't out of ego, this is out of truth. The crystals that I worked with, I knew certain crystals would work for certain situations in my healing work. And the three most beautiful crystals that became the most powerful source, the talisman, the tools, were these three crystals that I'm wearing. And I'm going to take you through the process of understanding those crystals, and then starting to go deep into the working process of how I brought the Moldavite trios together. So first of all, I used to have a great bond with at least 5 amazing diggers, or those that used to dig and stopped digging, and then now became traders, dealers, and lovers of Moldavite. So I'll give you a for instance. I'd get a whole load of Moldavites that felt right. So I would go through the process of feeling them, working with them, and saying, okay, I'll buy these off you. And I would go all over the world and meet them at the big events, the live events. And once I was happy with the Moldavites, from being under a gram up to sometimes 60 grams, I would then work with those crystals. How I would work with them would be in the energy of the same principles of this room, which is high vibration, and working on meditation, sound bowl therapy, my holding of the crystals and feeling them and pulling in the pure energy healing into them. And after so many weeks and months, I would say, okay, these are now ready. From that process, I would then get the second crystal from the 3 crystals, which is Tektite. So I would source my Tektites from Asia, wherever I get them from. So depending on how I feel, and again, it's important who I work with. So I'd build a bond, and of course, when I was in Asia, I would obviously go and buy them as well. So I'd get them and I'd work with them, both as small as this size to ones which are huge. And again, I would work with them, as I said, same as Moldavite. And I'd also work with them with clients. So if I had clients, I make sure that the Moldavites, the Tektites, were all around the clients or underneath the healing bed. Often I would sleep with crystals and fall asleep with them, and purposely put the energy into them. And as I sleep, I will wake up through the night in periods of maybe 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And I would then do the healing work again through the night. So they would get amazing amount of energy put into them, and a certain specific frequency that I would work on, which is something that I always keep to myself, because this is important to me, and it's something I like to keep to myself. From that moment on, I then needed to get my 3rd and most beautiful crystal, which came from New York. And like all beautiful crystals, this one particularly shone in a way that made me understand that this crystal is an awakening crystal, but more so, it helped me see that the other 2 crystals were like amplified, is the only way I can explain. So the Moldavite would increase in its energy, and the absorbing of the Tektite to clear that energy was incredible. And I always found myself wearing these 3 crystals separately. And one day I thought, you know what? It's time that I joined these 3 crystals together and made them as one. And I'm going to show you one now, how my original one that I made was similar to this. So basically it was like a teardrop Tektite. And the original one I think I got from, the first ones were from probably Thailand. And they were very similar to this, very similar. And the Moldavites, obviously, I was getting at the shows, and they were amazing, amazing quality. So I'd look for the most beautiful quality, and I'd feel them, and they'd have to feel right. The Herkimer Diamonds from New York, I wanted beautiful ones. I also liked the ones with the little bit of oil filled in them as well. So I like the different, and sometimes the clear, pure clear ones were also amazing. So I'd get a variety of these beautiful Herkimer diamonds. And then from that moment on, I created these by sending them, after working with them for so many hours, and I felt, okay, these are all ready now. I would wrap and pack them and send them over to a beautiful family and a village that make them for me. And I sent the pictures, told them how I wanted them, and wanted them in silver, and the silver in Bali is far better quality than India. Even though India is still good quality, Bali silver is much more beautiful. Like these are from Bali, okay, and they're softer. They're softer, and you have to be, you know, you treat these with gold. You treat them like gold, like you treat them like you've got a beautiful pendant on you, and you look after it just like this. You look after this, it'll look after you. So once they're ready and they come back, which can take from the first process of, okay, I'm going to start by hunting for Moldavite, then Tektite, and then Herkimer Diamond. Then after getting that together, then working on them individually. Once I finish working them, which can take months, then they get sent to Bali. That can take a process of at least 2 to 3 months. So this is a labor of love, labor of love. Anyway, once that's done, they come back and I begin the work again. And once I start to bring the energy and work with sound therapy and feel them and work with them, I say, okay, these are now ready. That can take anywhere between one week and at least 4 weeks, depending on how I feel. So it's like I'm sat here saying, okay, I'm excited now, guys. And a lot of you guys don't realize how much work and effort I put into these. Even the small Moldavites, I put a lot of effort and love into them as well, even the tiny pieces. And I have to hand pick these pieces from the Czech Republic. So I'm going to show you them in a minute as well. But here goes. So what I'm wearing today is the new collection of Moldavite trios. I call them Moldavite trios because that's how I sell them. So I'm going to show you the first one, which is approximately, I'd say 6 grams altogether, including the silver. And there you go. Have a look at that. Oh, it's a beauty! Look! So, a beautiful piece of Herkimer Diamond. Gorgeous. An amazing chunk of Moldavite. And a beautiful and very polished Tektite, which is gorgeous. So, very powerful. The size has absolutely no relevance to the healing work. And then I've got people who are healers, or those people who work in a general public who really struggle with negativity, and they want to be on top form. They want to be able to answer questions. They want to be able to warn off that negative energy by absorbing it and clearing it. So I started making these as well for a lot of people who were healers, who were in the industry of the public, and asking me, is there any chance of having bigger pieces to work with? And I said, that's exactly how I used to work with them. I used to have hand dumbbells in Tektite and big pieces of Moldavite. So I ended up making these, which are over 60 grams, nearly 70 grams. Look at that beauty. Isn't that divine? They're all stamped MB marked Bajerski, which I'm proud of, and some people think it's ego, but it's not. I'm proud. A lot of people are now copying Mark Bajerski's trios, which is quite beautiful, really. It says something, right? But here you go, a genuine piece of Mark Bajerski's trios. There you are. Have a look at it. A most amazing and exquisite cherry-picked and worked upon Herkimer Diamond with a beautiful, in fact 2 or 3 places is exquisite with the oil content in there. It's gorgeous. And then a most amazing piece of Moldavite, absolutely gorgeous. If you could see the green and the dents of that is amazing. I handpicked these myself in the Czech Republic. Absolutely amazing. So there you go. As a healer, and you have a nice long chain with this, when you're doing the healing work, you've got one hand working and one hand here. And isn't that perfect? You see? And I'll just show you these 2 more, which are now ready again. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the shape of that. Oh my God. It's such a beautiful shape, and the Moldavite is exquisite again. Look how you can work with that. Isn't that beautiful? And look at that one. Just let me show you the back. Look how amazing that is. Isn't that amazing? And look at the Moldavite. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that exquisite Herkimer Diamond is so beautiful. So let me clear the screen. There you go. Beautiful. And then I have some over here. Look, chat. Again, look how beautiful that is. Beautiful shape, beautiful to work with. And the Tektite absorbing the negative energy. Nice and big piece there. Beautiful piece of Moldavite there with amazing natural inclusions. Incredible. I don't know if you can see them, but no, you can't. Amazing. So here is my collection after months. They're in here, and I'm going to show you the collection. Are you ready? There you go. There's the first collection. These are round about 6 to 10 grams. Oh. This is the second collection. These are probably about, again, about 10 to 20 grams. Oh my goodness gracious me, aren't they divine? Oh, yummy! Some are collected. Look at the delicious! Oh, look at this one! Look at that one! Isn't that amazing? Slightly different in design, because normally the Tektite is at the bottom, but I wanted to change it and just see what happens. Look at that one. And the reason why is, I'll explain. It's my own thinking, it's my own understanding. When you're healing and healers are doing their work, or if you are a healer yourself and you want to do work on yourself, imagine this is hanging down. You've got the Moldavite flying through the Tektite and then into a pointer. So you can hold this and work with it on your third eye. You can also work with it in cleansing and clearing. You can also help people with any kind of skin disorders, And, you know, work on your eyes, heal yourself, because the amplification of the Moldavite, the Tektite, which runs through, is quite amazing with Herkimer Diamond. It, like I said, it amplifies all that energy. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with them. And I'll show you the last, this is the last lot, which is again a labour of love, and has taken months and months. There you go. Wow, look at them. That beautiful? Wow. Yeah, and these are again round about 5 to 10 grams, I would say. Let's have a look. I'll just give you a for instance. Let's have a look at this one. How many grams is this? Have a look. I can't see. That one's a particularly small one. That's 4 grams, but this is for people who don't want anything too big and just want a lovely little size. And the workmanship and the effort is equal to this. Really is equal. So yeah, look at that. Isn't that exquisite? Yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous. Look at this one. And look at this one. Wow, look at the shapes. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. Look. Yeah, of course I'm proud, really proud. I love them all, love them. So now I have to take some photographs, and then they'll be uploaded on Bajerski.com, and then they fly out, as you already know. You go onto my website now, you won't see any because they sell out quicker than I can put them up. The reason why they sell out is because of all the story that I've just given you and how I work with them. And if you don't believe me, look at the testimonials. If you were to ask me now, if Mark, which 3 crystals should I work with? If you were at the point of wanting to raise your vibration to the low energy that is out there right now, there is no other 3 crystals that I would say would do the work as well as Moldavite trios. Herkimer, Moldavite and Tektite. Go to your local store, make sure they are genuine. And somebody just sent me a message the other day, and they sent me a photo of a Moldavite and a Moldavite trio basically, and they said to me, is this genuine? I looked at it, and this happens every day, by the way. I looked at it and said, what's the weight? She told me the weight. So I just kind of added everything up, and I said, if I was to literally go to the Czech Republic and pick that Moldavite up, if I was to go and get a Tektite and a genuine Herkimer Diamond and put them together with the work of a jeweler, I wouldn't be able to sell that crystal for what you paid for it, because it would have cost me more money. I can't tell you whether it's genuine or not. All I can tell you is my understanding and my work, and I've been working 16 years with Moldavite, so maybe I'm doing something wrong and you guys are buying it for pittance and I don't know where. But I know I work with genuine dealers and I know the price of Moldavite, and if it's too good to be true in price, it normally is. Now, by saying that, there are people who may genuinely have had Moldavites 20 years ago and are selling it and they don't know the value of it. There may be somebody out there who bought it and paid a lot of money for it and is selling it second hand, and they just want to sell it whatever, cheaper. I don't know. I don't know many people who sell their Moldavites cheaper to anybody. So again, I don't know, and I can't speak for everybody, but the only way you truly know whether a Moldavite is genuine is if you put it under the microscope and you have a meteorologist look at it. And even now, the fakes, I'm being told every day, are becoming more difficult to spot. And more people are faking them because there's such a demand for Moldavite. So I think it's always good to go to your local dealer. The reason why is if you go into a shop, well, they've got a reputation to keep up, right? So they don't want people talking about their shop that they're selling fake. So a dealer loves crystals. A crystal shop wants its reputation. And, you know, so if you're buying from Etsy, all these companies, eBay and Amazon, anybody can set up an account. Anybody can, you know, send 400 messages saying that I bought these crystals and they're amazing and they work. You know, anybody can do that. You can pay people to say good things all the time, and you'll just scan the first top 10 and think, okay, this is genuine. So you've got to be careful. So I always suggest to people, always go to your local crystal store and support them as well. And that's it. That's my day's work. These are my crystals, and I hope you love the trios, which are now becoming pretty famous around the world, and people are all doing it now. They're all joining them together. You see, it works, and that's from a healer's perspective. It was a natural, organic formation of 3 amazing crystals over 16 years' work. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for supporting Bajerski.com. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I've never said this before. Why don't you subscribe? Press subscribe. Most people don't ever subscribe. Did you know that? It'd be nice if you did. How many people we got? 146,000. You're a bit greedy, Mr. Bajerski. Aren't you happy with that? Yeah, I am. I'm really happy with it. You don't need to subscribe. I'm only kidding. Thank you so much. Just click the bell and subscribe. And hear the bell when it rings. Okay, guys, thank you for trusting in my pure energy healing crystals. Thank you for going to markbajerski.com and supporting me and all our staff. Thank you so much. And we will continue gifting free crystals as we do every single day, like today. We keep helping people as much as we can. So we help one another. And I keep shining my light to the world and sharing beautiful information, like hopefully the next video I do. Have a great day. Take care.